Bluegrass Jam Along is proud to be sponsored by Collins Guitars and Mandolins, each and every one built from the sound up in Austin, Texas. Hi, this is Matt, and you're listening to Bluegrass Jam Along, the podcast for anyone and everyone who loves bluegrass. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bluegrass Jam Along. It's been a bit bitty on the podcast for the last couple of weeks because I've had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm getting back at it, and I missed Monday's briefing, so I thought I'd put one out today because I've got no interview for you. I will have an interview next week and lots more cool stuff coming, but I thought I'd put out a briefing today and just catch up on a few bits and pieces. In terms of podcast stuff, if you missed them, there was a couple of really fun episodes on the podcast recently. One with Julia Harford-Hogue talking about the Volume 2 of the John Hartford Fiddle Tune Project, Julia Bell. Great album, really cool album, full of amazing female performers. Go and listen to that, both the episode and the album if you haven't. But also had a really fun chat with Jason Carter, talking about 33 years of being in the Del McCoury Band and the reasons for moving on from that. What a run he's had. It's kind of, those 33 years have seen some big changes in the bluegrass world, and fascinating story about how he got the gig, why he wanted the gig, getting the gig, and just what happened in the meantime and what's next for him. Just really, fascinating stuff. Really enjoyed that one. So go and check out the Jason Carter interview as well if you missed that. I've got quite a few things coming up I'm looking forward to putting out, and I will be telling you a little bit more on those in the coming weeks. In the meantime, let's crack on with some news, and we'll start with news and announcements. And this is the section we like to call Church Street News. The first bit is that Molly Tuttle has a new band. She's been with Golden Highway for a while and has basically decided to go in a new direction. It looks like Rocky Grass will be the last show with Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway. And a new band will be her along with multi-instrumentalist Ellen Angelico, guitar and mandolinist Mary Mayer, bassist Vanessa McGowan, and drummer Megan Jane. So that sounds like a bit of a different lineup and a different direction. I haven't heard much about that. I just spotted a couple of social posts yesterday. The new lineup has a show at New York City's Mercury Lounge on June 24th. Head to social media and check out Molly's posts for all of that. Good luck to her with the next phase, but also good luck to all the members of Golden Highway with what they've got coming out. I know Shelby's got a record due any day. Bronwyn's, sort of smashing it with her solo stuff. Kyle has a new baby. Dominic has a relatively new baby as well. So they've all got lots going on. Good luck to all of them, and thanks for all the wonderful music from, all of us, I'm sure, and those of you who got to see them live. I saw them do one song at IBMA last year, but those of you who got to see a show, I'm sure, very much loved that lineup. So Molly Tuttle has a new band, and that is it for Golden Highway. Couple of bits coming up. Bluegrass on Hudson 2025 series. If you remember, I spoke to Ruth Oxenberg and Rob Schumer about their film Bluegrass Journey on the podcast. I think it was last year. We also talked about this wonderful series of events they curate called Bluegrass on Hudson. Trunks, Roots and Branches, and they run on Thursdays through the summer. A series sort of celebrating contemporary bluegrass roots, string band music, and kind of the next generation of talent, I guess. And it's at an extraordinary venue called the Spiegel Tent, and I will let you go and have a look at that. I'll put a link in the show notes and go and see the venue. It looks superb, and it's got a really cool lineup coming out this year. Lots of people who've been on the podcast, actually, starting with Jason Carter Band, Michael Daves and Jacob Jolliffe following that, doing their duo stuff. Both of them have been on the podcast. Alison Brown, her quintet will be performing, Brittany and Natalie Haas, and finally Chris Eldridge and Kristen Andreasen. I would love to see every single one of those. If I was slightly closer to upstate New York, I would be there, but I'm not, so you should go if you are. I'll put a link in the show notes. Go and check it out. That is a fantastic series of events. Go and have a look. There's also a couple of bits of IBMA news. The international stage, applications are open for that, which takes place as part of World of Bluegrass from September the 16th to the 20th in Chattanooga. It's a curated selection of performances showcasing bluegrass music from around the globe, and it's open to foreign nationals living overseas, foreign nationals living and working in the US, US nationals with strong international connections. The deadline's been extended till the end of May. There's also going to be a live Q&A about the stage for people who are interested and might want to find out more. I don't have the details of that just yet, but I will have, and I'll stick them on the social channels because I think that's happening on Friday. So yeah, but if you are coming to IBMA from outside of the US, there's an opportunity to perform if you're interested, and I'll stick a link in the show notes about how you can find out more about that. It's a fantastic opportunity. And there may well be a second round of applications available later in the year, but now is the time to get in if you know you're going to be there. Really cool opportunity. The other thing is that the World of Bluegrass member pre-sale has been open for a week, and the public sale is open now as you hear this. So if you want to buy your tickets, the festival features Sierra Farrell, Wood Brothers, Sierra Hull, Peter Rowan, Alison Brown, Sister Sadie. I mean, loads of cool stuff. And the tickets for all of it in Chattanooga are on sale now. So go and check that out. Don't know if I'll be there this year or not. I've been the last 2 years. Yeah, a bit of a trip for me, so we'll see. I will work that out later in the year. But yes, IBMA tickets are available now. Go and have a look at that. And one other thing, I interviewed Todd Phillips recently, and that's not out yet because it's part of a series of episodes I'm putting together. I'll tell you more about in a week or two. But he mentioned at the end of that interview that there are some Phillips, Greer and Flinner dates coming in September. If you remember, I did a chat with Eric Skye about that first Phillips, Greer and Flinner record, which is a big favourite of mine and his. And so if you never got a chance to see them as a trio, there are some chances coming up. I'll stick a link in the show notes. The dates are on Todd Phillips' website, I think, or Matt Flinner's website. I'll dig them out and put a link in so you can go and have a look. But yeah, that'd be cool if you can get to those. What else? California Bluegrass Association's 50th Annual Father's Day Bluegrass Festival, June 12th to the 15th. The headliners for that, the Del McCoury Band, the Wood Brothers and AJ Lee and Blue Summit, but loads of cool stuff going on there. Sounds like a great festival. So if you can get to the California Bluegrass Association's Father's Day Bluegrass Festival in June, go and have a look at that. Link in the show notes as always. And I just wanted to take this moment just to mention something I heard yesterday, is that Barry Poss has passed. Huge figure in the world of bluegrass, through Sugar Hill Records, responsible for so many cool albums that we all love, and also very instrumental, I'm told, in setting up IBMA and getting that going as well. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you will have known Barry, and yeah, just, best wishes to all his friends and family and everybody who knew him, and just taking a moment to celebrate the extraordinary contribution he made to this music. So that's it. That's all the news and announcements for this week. Let's move on to The Grass is New. And there's lots of cool stuff out at the moment, particularly a brand new album from I'm With Her, not something we get very often, so something to be celebrated. It's called Wild and Clear and Blue, and it is out now, and I've been listening to it for the past couple of days and really enjoying it. I'm going to get to see them in London in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait. I haven't seen them before. I've seen all of the members of that band individually in various things, but I've never seen them together, so that's really exciting. Yes, new I'm With Her record is brilliant. It is out. Go and have a listen. There are also some new singles out from various people you should go and check out. Brad Kolodner has a new track called Old Growth, which I've put in the Grass's Mostly New playlist. Go and have a listen to that. Sean Richardson, great new track called While It Lasts. Go and hear that. That is very cool as well. Missy Raines has a new album coming, and the first track, Eula Dorsey, from that is out now. Missy, if you remember, was on the podcast for her last album, which was wonderful. One of my favourite conversations I've had on this podcast. There is also a new album called Rituals from Watch House due out at the end of May, but there's a new track from that called Firelight out now. Again, I've popped that in the playlist. And there's a new album coming in the autumn from East Nash Grass, who I love, which is going to be called All God's Children, but the first single from that, Following You, is out now. So loads of cool stuff in the playlist. Go and there's a link in the show notes. Go and check out the Grass's Mostly New 2025 playlist on Spotify. I'm With Her's new record, then new singles from Brad Kolodner, Sean Richardson, Missy Raines, Watch House, and East Nash Grass. Loads of good stuff in there. Go and enjoy. And so that leads me on to Scroll On Buddy. And what I noticed, both on social media, and it's also something Jason Carter pointed out when I chatted to him, is that the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry is Steve Earle. I'm a huge Steve Earle fan, as I'm sure some of you have heard me say before. Also, his record, The Mountain, that he did with the Del McCoury band that Jason played on, which I'm a huge fan of, and he is a huge fan of, as I found out in the interview. So that's one of the records that really got me into bluegrass in a big way. So it's exciting to see that. Congratulations to Steve, and yeah, wonderful. Which leaves me with what is that? In my ears this week, Ben. I have been listening a lot to the new I'm With Her record. Really enjoying that. It's just, yeah, it's great. I love it. It's so cool. But I've also been digging through some Norman Blake stuff. I got a bunch of Norman Blake CDs a while ago, and I haven't really listened to them enough yet. And just really enjoying that. And there's a Norman Blake episode coming up on the podcast soon. Another one of the sort of celebrating one particular album records. It's going to be Norman's Whiskey Before Breakfast, and I'm going to chat to Bob Minner about that. I was scheduled to record it a couple of weeks ago and had to postpone it for family stuff that I've got going on, but I'm very excited about that one. It's a wonderful record. I love talking to Bob Minner, and he is just enthusiastic and deeply knowledgeable about Norman's music. From the point of view of being an expert, but just a big fan himself, and so I'm looking forward to that. So that is coming up on the podcast very soon. That is it for this week. All the usual stuff applies. bluegrassjamalong.com for links, chord sheets, episode lists, all the interviews, everything. If you want to get in touch, you'll find out how to do that there. You can subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, which for a small fee every month just goes towards helping support it and help me keep this going, which is really important. I lost one of my sponsors recently. They may well be back, but they've just got some other concerns at the moment, so I'm down to one. And anybody who can help support the podcast a little bit will help keep it going. And if not, you can just recommend it to a friend. If you know somebody who likes bluegrass, please tell them about this podcast. Word of mouth recommendations is always the strongest way to get stuff around, and all of that will help as well. But that is it. I will see you next week with a briefing and a new interview. In the meantime, have a fantastic week and happy picking. Bluegrass Jam Along is proud to be sponsored by Collins Guitars and Mandolins, each and every one built from the sound up in Austin, Texas.